If food disappeared tomorrow, this useless weed could keep you alive. And the worst part? People spray poison on it every single day. This plant grows for free, survives heat, drought, bad soil, and neglect. Yet most people rip it out without a second thought. Farmers fight it. Gardeners hate it. Cities try to kill it. But in other parts of the world, it's eaten on purpose. Sold in markets. Used for both food and traditional remedies. Same plant. Different knowledge. Here's what makes it shocking. This isn't some rare jungle herb or exotic rainforest superfood. It grows in places you walk past every day. Sidewalk cracks. Road edges. Lawns. Empty plots. Construction sites. It doesn't need care. It doesn't need protection. It doesn't even need you. While modern crops struggle without fertilizers and perfect watering schedules, this plant just keeps coming back stronger after being cut, stepped on, or ignored. So why was it labeled a weed instead of food? Because it doesn't fit the system. It grows without permission. It can't be easily controlled. And it doesn't rely on chemicals or expensive farming. Some of the most resilient, nutrient-dense plants on Earth didn't disappear. We just forgot they were edible. And once you recognize this one, you'll start seeing it everywhere, and you'll never look at your yard the same way again. You've probably walked past this plant 100 times. Maybe even pulled it out of the ground with your bare hands and tossed it away without thinking twice. It doesn't look special. No bright fruit. No fancy label. No one at the store is charging $12 for it in a plastic container. In fact, most people see it and think one word: weed. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. This so-called weed has been eaten for thousands of years. Entire communities once relied on it as a regular food source, not survival food, not emergency food, just normal, everyday nutrition. And today, farmers spray it. Gardeners rip it out. People spend money on fertilizers to grow weaker plants, while destroying this one for free. That's the irony. Because nutritionally, this wild plant quietly competes with some of the most praised superfoods in modern health culture. Leaf for leaf, it holds its own against spinach. Seed for seed, it's been compared to quinoa. Yet nobody advertises it. Nobody packages it. Nobody tells you to eat it. Which makes you wonder, how did one of the most useful wild foods on Earth get downgraded to yard trash? And more importantly, how many other powerful plants are we throwing away just because we forgot their names? Because this one? It's probably growing closer than you think. All right, the moment of truth. This plant isn't just any weed. Its name is moringa, often called the miracle tree. Yes, you heard that right. What looks like a scraggly green plant in some backyards or open fields is actually one of the most nutrient-dense plants on Earth. Its leaves, seeds, and pods are packed with protein, vitamins A, C, and E, calcium, potassium, and iron. Basically every nutrient your body craves, naturally. And it grows fast, spreads easily, and requires almost no care. Here's where it gets wild. In parts of the world, moringa is called the tree that fights malnutrition. Aid organizations rely on it to feed entire communities because just a handful of leaves provides a significant portion of daily nutrition. Yet in the US and many other countries, most people have never heard of it. Supermarkets don't stock it. Wellness stores ignore it. Mainstream nutrition guides rarely mention it. Why? Because it grows too easily, nourishes people without costly processing, and doesn't fit the profit-driven industrial food system. In other words, it's too efficient, too powerful, and too free. And the taste? Surprisingly mild, almost spinach-like. Leaves can be eaten raw, cooked, or dried into powder. Pods are tender and slightly sweet. Seeds can even produce oil used for skin and hair care. A single moringa tree could provide meals, medicine, and nutrition for an entire family, and yet it's hidden in plain sight. By the end of this video, you'll see that moringa isn't just overlooked, it's intentionally forgotten. Now let's talk about why moringa is more than just a superfood hiding in plain sight. This plant is literally built to survive anything. Harsh sun. It thrives. Poor soil. No problem. Drought or neglect. Moringa just keeps growing like it's laughing at the elements. While delicate crops need constant care, irrigation, and fertilizers, this tree grows almost by itself, providing leaves and pods year-round. Think about that for a second. While people spend hundreds on supplements, protein powders, and exotic superfoods, moringa offers all of that for free, straight from nature. and it's resilient enough to feed a family, a community, or even a small village if needed. Yet here's the kicker: most people ignore it. Lawns, commercial farms, and urban planning don't make room for plants that grow wild and don't generate big profits. Anything that grows too fast, too efficiently, and feeds people naturally gets overlooked or suppressed. And that's why moringa's story isn't just about nutrition. It's about a system designed to make people pay for what nature gives freely. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize moringa instantly, you'll start seeing untapped superfoods everywhere in your backyard, your neighborhood, even sidewalk. Now, let's get into the practical side of moringa, because seeing a plant is one thing, but knowing how to use it makes it real. First off, the leaves are soft, slightly earthy, and surprisingly mild, perfect for salads, smoothies, or soups. Just a handful in your daily diet gives you more vitamins A, C, and calcium than many packaged supplements. The pods, often called drumsticks, are tender and slightly sweet when cooked, great for stews or stir-fries. Even the seeds are edible. You can press them for oil or dry them for a natural protein punch. Here's the thing: most people never think to grow it because it's labeled exotic or tropical. But the truth is moringa grows fast, barely needs attention, and feeds more than it consumes. It's like nature's multivitamin on autopilot. And the wildest part: while supermarkets charge a fortune for kale, spinach, or exotic powders, moringa grows free in sunny spots, backyards, or even neglected corners. People walk past it every day without realizing they're stepping over a superfood that can boost energy, immunity, and overall health. The real question now is, if something this powerful grows almost anywhere, why aren't we all using it? The answer lies in how modern agriculture and urban planning have quietly pushed these self-sufficient, nutrient-dense plants out of sight. By the end of this segment, you'll start noticing untapped plants around you that are just waiting to be discovered. And moringa is just the beginning. Hold on to your hats, because the next plant makes everything you've seen so far look small. Meet sea buckthorn, a thorny shrub hiding a nutritional explosion in plain sight. Native to Europe and Asia, it grows in harsh climates, along riverbanks, and even in salty or desert-like soils. Most plants would die here, but not this one. And here's the kicker: its tiny, bright orange berries contain more vitamin C than oranges, plus omega-7 fatty acids, antioxidants, and nutrients so powerful scientists are still studying them. A few berries a day can make a dramatic difference in immunity, skin health, and energy levels. Yet in the US, sea buckthorn is almost completely unknown. People see it in their backyards and call it a thorn bush, ignoring a plant that could literally change their health for free. Birds spread it far and wide, letting it thrive without anyone planting it. But local authorities sometimes classify it as invasive, making it another hidden superfood most people destroy without knowing. Think about that: a plant that survives the toughest conditions, boosts health naturally, and grows almost anywhere, yet most people walk past it every day. This is the pattern you'll see again and again: nature giving us miracle foods, while modern systems quietly keep them out of reach. By the end of this part, you'll start seeing ordinary landscapes in a whole new way. Because the next plant I reveal is so powerful, some governments tried to restrict it entirely. Alright, now we are entering truly controversial territory, a plant that some call a forgotten miracle and others label too powerful to be allowed. Meet maca root, native to the high Andes. For centuries, local communities have relied on it for stamina, energy, and endurance, literally calling it the Peruvian ginseng. Here's the insane part: this root is packed with vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and plant compounds that naturally boost energy, improve mood, and support hormone balance. Imagine increasing your vitality without expensive powders or supplements, just from a plant that grows in extreme conditions, survives harsh frost, and requires almost no water. Yet most people don't even know it exists. Industrial agriculture favors crops that generate consistent profit, not superfoods like maca that could feed, energize, and heal people naturally. Powdered versions dominate the market at high prices, hiding the fact that you could grow it yourself. Taste: earthy, nutty, slightly sweet, perfect for smoothies, baked goods, or teas. Just a tablespoon a day packs nutrients that many modern foods can't match. This plant is part of a bigger pattern. From purslane to moringa, sea buckthorn to maca, nature offers hidden powerhouses that are resilient, nutrient-dense, and quietly ignored. Meanwhile, mainstream society spends billions on processed alternatives. Speech balloon, drop a comment if you've ever tried a miracle root like maca, and hit subscribe. In the next video, we'll reveal the final two plants so potent they've almost been erased from history. You won't believe what number 15 does.